gunman opening fire, killing 3 people. What we're learning about the gunman, a member of the Royal Saudi Air Force. Now possible clues about a motive in an online message, plus the heroes credited with bringing him down.
Caught on camera, law enforcement confronting a suspect during a traffic stop when he suddenly hits the gas. One deputy dragged, tumbling to the ground, and the truck going out of control with the second deputy still inside. How the officers are doing this morning.
A mother's pain, the mom of missing 5-year-old Dulce Alves speaking out about the moment her daughter went missing from a park in New Jersey.
You did not sell your daughter,
No.
correct?
The new questions she's raising this morning about who was behind her daughter's disappearance.
On the prowl, this mountain lion caught on camera roaming a California neighborhood preying on pets.
She jumped on top of the mountain lion and was trying to pry its jaws open.
The warning to residents this morning.
And crunch time. Amazon's prime mission, keep up with demand. The setback suffered over the weather and what the retail giant is saying about delivering your holiday gifts.
Live from ABC News in New York, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning. We begin with new details on that deadly shooting rampage at a Navy base in Florida. Pensacola Naval Air Station is open only to essential personnel this morning after a gunman opened fire.
And here's what we know right now as we come on the air. 3 people dead, several more injured. Investigators say the gunman was a Saudi national and a member of the Royal Saudi Air Force who was receiving training at that base.
The FBI also says it's still looking into the motive for the shooting, but investigators are examining hate-filled anti-American writings online to determine whether they were posted by the suspect. ABC's Stephanie Ramos is right there on the ground in Pensacola with the latest on the investigation and the very brave people who took that shooter down. Stephanie, good morning to you.
Dan, good morning. That naval base is back open this morning for certain workers through the weekend, and the families who live here, they now have access to their homes again. But this area is still so shaken by the shooting that took place just about 24 hours ago after a Saudi national who was part of a training program for international military personnel went on a deadly rampage.
This morning, the officers struck by gunfire at Naval Air Station Pensacola are recovering as we learn more about this man, Second Lieutenant Mohammed Saeed Al-Shamrani. The Royal Saudi Air Force pilot attending flight training with the U.S. Navy opened fire in one of the classroom buildings. Police officers on scene within minutes.
We were fortunate to get some pretty exact information so the officers knew specifically where to respond to.
Investigators are now reviewing an online writing believed to be authored by Al-Shamrani. In it, he allegedly writes about hating America. The chaos unraveling early Friday morning as students arrived to class.
And I have one Navy officer shot up here multiple times.
Authorities say the gunman entered through the front doors and immediately started shooting, moving through 2 floors of the building armed with a semi-automatic handgun, shooting at anyone in his way.
Over 10 patients confirmed.
Police say the shooter was slowed down when one person barricaded a door, allowing others to get out the back of the building. 4 sheriff's deputies located the attacker, chased him while firing as the gunman shot back. 2 officers hit, one shot in the arm, the other in the knee, yet they continued to fire at the suspect, eventually killing him. 8 people were injured, 4 killed, including the gunman.
Resources that are being allocated and flown here is astounding, and you, the family members and loved ones, should know that. You should also know that we will be absolutely relentless.
The Department of Defense reports that more than 5,100 foreign students from 153 countries are in the U.S. for military training. President Trump, briefed on the situation, says he received a call from the King of Saudi Arabia.
The king said that the Saudi people are greatly angered by the barbaric actions of the shooter, and that this person in no way, shape, or form represents the feelings of the Saudi people who love the American people so much.
This comes just days after the deadly shooting at Pearl Harbor Naval Shipyard Wednesday. Authorities now say the shooter there was angry with his commanders, even undergoing counseling before opening fire, killing 2 contractors and injuring a 3rd. The chief of naval operations tweeting, "This has been a devastating week for our U.S. Navy family. Our hearts break for those who lost their lives in Pensacola and the wrenching pain it causes their loved ones."
Right now, it's unclear what the motive was. Investigators aren't giving those specifics just yet, but they do say they're interviewing the gunman's classmates to find out if they heard or saw anything that can help them figure out why the gunman opened fire. Now, it is worth noting that foreign nationals do routinely train in the U.S. when they're native countries by American military aircraft. Dan?
Stephanie Ramos on the ground in Pensacola, thank you. We do have some breaking news right now. An American held in Iran for 3 years has just been released in a prisoner swap. ABC's Julia McFarland is on the story from our London bureau. Julia, good morning to you.
Good morning, Dan. This news just emerging this morning that a 38-year-old American graduate student jailed in Iran has been freed as part of a prisoner exchange. A statement from President Trump reads, after more than 3 years being held prisoner in Iran, Shiwa Wang is returning to the United States. A Princeton University graduate, Mr. Wang had been held under the pretense of espionage since August 2016. We thank our Swiss partners in negotiating his release with Iran. Meanwhile, in the U.S., Masoud Soleimani, an Iranian scientist who was arrested in a Chicago airport and convicted last year for violating trade sanctions against Iran, was flown to Zurich. The foreign minister of Iran, Javad Zarif, was there to meet him, tweeting, glad that Professor Masoud Soleimani and Mr. Shiwa Wang will be joining their families soon. Many thanks to all engaged, particularly the Swiss government. This delicate negotiation, of course, comes at a time of high tension between the United States and Iran, with both President Trump and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo recently voicing support for anti-government protests there. Eva?
All right, Julia, thank you. Utility giant PG&E announcing a $13.5 billion settlement to take care of all claims associated with several deadly fires that devastated Northern California. The money will go to victims who lost loved ones and or property in last year's Camp Fire, as well as other fires that have been tied to the company's equipment. PG&E is hoping the settlement helps them emerge from bankruptcy after they filed for Chapter 11, expecting the cost to reach the $30 billion mark.
Some heart-stopping moments as officers in Alabama try to arrest one of America's most wanted during a traffic stop. You can see two officers go up to the suspect's vehicle when he decides to take off. One officer manages to get inside, the other dragged down the street as he holds onto the vehicle for as long as he can. The car then falls into a ditch and hits a tree, pinning the driver's door shut. The officers are both injured but expected to be okay. The suspect is now in custody.
Another illustration of how dangerous a job that is. Speaking of that, we're going to turn now to a wild shootout on the streets of South Florida. The families of the people killed in the crossfire here are expressing their outrage over how police handled this situation. ABC's Victor Oquendo is in Coral Gables, Florida, with much more. Victor, good morning.
Good morning, Dan. This is where it all started, with a botched robbery here at this jewelry store and a shootout with the owner. A few minutes later, those suspects would hijack that UPS truck and the chase was on. We've all seen how it ended, and now the heartbroken families want answers. This morning, devastating details about the dramatic chase and shootout that left 4 people dead on this busy South Florida intersection. While the FBI investigates, the victims' families are outraged at the police response. 27-year-old Frank Ordonez was covering another UPS driver's route Thursday afternoon when these two suspects, Lamar Alexander and Ronnie Jerome Hill, allegedly tried robbing this jewelry store, then hijacked Ordonez's truck and took him hostage. They drove more than 20 miles up the Florida Turnpike and Interstate 75 and then local streets, the suspects firing back at an armada of police before finally getting stuck in traffic in Miramar. At least 13 officers opening fire. In the end, 4 people were dead. The two suspects, 70-year-old Richard Cutshaw, who was in his car nearby, survived by his 99-year-old mother, as well as 5 brothers and sisters, and Ordonez, who leaves behind 2 young daughters. What does the family want?
Justice.
Ordonez's stepfather believes officers mishandled the situation and are responsible for his death.
He was murdered.
He was murdered.
He was murdered. What else can you call it?
It's unclear if the two were killed by the suspects or by police fire. The Miami-Dade police director offering condolences to the families and promising a full investigation.
The people responsible for this action, for this result, are the 2 gentlemen that decided to enter that store and commit this violent crime.
And as they investigate, the FBI will be looking at a number of things like protocol and who fired first. Still, so many questions for law enforcement. Eva?
Thinking of those families this morning. The CDC is urging anyone who hasn't done so yet to get a flu shot. The agency issuing a warning that the flu season is off to its earliest start in more than 15 years. Widespread flu has been reported in 16 states with at least 900 deaths. The CDC recommending flu shots for anyone 6 months and older.
A mother from New Jersey is speaking out about the disappearance of her 5-year-old daughter, Dulce Alves. And for the first time, she's pointing a finger at the person she thinks may have some answers here. And ABC's Zachary Quiche is on the story. Zachary, good morning.
Dan, good morning to you as well. This morning, Dulce's mother is answering these tough questions about her daughter's disappearance and pointing the finger at a family friend who she says may be behind her daughter's apparent abduction.
It's been 2 months since Maria Dulce Alves disappeared from a New Jersey park while playing with her little brother. Now Dulce's mother is opening up in an interview with Dr. Phil.
You did not sell your daughter,
No.
correct?
No,
You don't know who has her.
no,
You're not involved in her abduction.
no.
This surveillance video shows Dulce inside a convenience store moments before her disappearance. After leaving the store, the girl and her brother then went to the playground. Her mother, roughly 30 yards away in her car, when her daughter vanished.
First, I thought that she was playing hide and seek. I didn't want to believe that somebody took her. I asked her brother what happened. He just said, because he doesn't know how to speak, he just told me to come. He said somebody called her.
This morning, Dulce's mother now pointing the finger at an old family friend.
Last time he saw me and my daughter together. And he just waved at me and said hi. And he asked me if that was my daughter, and I told him yes.
Like, date you or?
Yes,
And you rejected him?
yes.
How did he take it?
He just insisted, but I told him no.
Authorities are searching for a man described as having a thin build, no facial hair, and acne on his face. They say he may have lured the little girl into a red van. Dozens of officers, police dogs, and neighbors helping in the search, scouring the park for clues.
Now, that mom has been questioned by authorities, and we're told her story has not changed. Of course, everyone in that community is certainly concerned and praying for a safe return of that young girl.
Yeah, whoever is to blame here, there's a little girl in peril.
That's right.
Zachary, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, now to the impeachment showdown. Democrats firing back, saying the American people deserve answers from President Trump. The White House issuing a defiant response about participating in the impeachment hearings. ABC's Kira Phillips is on Capitol Hill with the story. Good morning to you, Kira.
Good morning, Eva. Defiant indeed. Democrats, as they accelerate their push for impeachment, the president telling them, go ahead, and without him or his lawyers. In this letter from White House counsel Pat Cipollone to chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Jerry Nadler, Cipollone states, your impeachment inquiry is completely baseless and has violated basic principles of due process and fundamental fairness. You should end this inquiry now and not waste even more time with additional hearings. However, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said yesterday, Eva, that participating in the House Judiciary impeachment proceeding would offer President Trump a, quote, chance to show his innocence. Cipollone's letter making it clear, though, the president is not easily intimidated. He goes on and writes, as the president has recently stated, if you're going to impeach me, do it now, fast, so we can have a fair trial in the Senate and so that our country can get back to business. Meanwhile, Pelosi instructed House Democrats, Eva, to begin drafting articles of impeachment, anticipating that a full House vote could come before Christmas. A senior White House official actually telling me this morning that while the White House will not participate in any of the House proceedings, if impeachment does progress to a trial in the Senate, the White House is expected to go into that process with all guns blazing, Eva.
So, Kira, what might the White House do?
Well, it's unclear at this point who would actually represent the president in a trial, whether it would be the White House counsel's office or outside attorneys. But the president does want to call forward what he has described as, quote, serious witnesses, demanding to hear from people like the whistleblower to Hunter Biden. But there's still no indication on who they might call in to testify. A lot to look forward here to, Eva.
And a lot of people will be watching. Kira Phillips, thank you. And on Monday, the House Judiciary Committee meets to draft articles of impeachment. We'll have full coverage of the hearings beginning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Whit.
Eva, in the race for 2020, Democrats are increasingly taking aim at each other, trying to draw distinct differences in a still crowded field. But the newest candidate is already under fire, forced to explain some of his comments less than 2 weeks after he launched his campaign.
This morning, Michael Bloomberg facing new accusations of being racially out of touch.
Cory Booker endorsed me a number of times, and I endorsed Cory Booker a number of times. He's very well spoken. He's got some good ideas.
The former New York City mayor with that controversial remark in his first major interview since joining the presidential race. Senator Cory Booker saying he was taken aback, but that Bloomberg has since reached out.
Whoever is our nominee should not have to be explained to about why comments like that can be found to be so offensive to a very important part of our constituency.
Bloomberg now on defense.
I probably shouldn't have used the word, but I can just tell you he is a friend of mine and he is a Rhodes Scholar.
The campaign heating up with the Iowa caucuses less than 2 months away. Senator Elizabeth Warren and Mayor Pete Buttigieg locked in an escalating war of words.
So you wouldn't call it a feud, a beef, a rivalry?
I call it a competition. Look, everybody running for president needs to be able to explain why each of us is better than the others.
Warren taking shots at Mayor Pete for his closed-door fundraisers.
Senator Warren, you said that you wouldn't bash your fellow Democrats in the race, and yet you have called out Mayor Pete Buttigieg by name on a variety of issues. Are the gloves off now?
No, I just see this as, look, from the very beginning when I got in this race, what was important to me is the issue of corruption. And the way we build a grassroots movement is not by going behind closed doors, selling access to time, giving special titles and special access to bundlers.
Buttigieg arguing Warren had attended similar events in the past.
She was for it before she was against it.
In Iowa, Joe Biden barnstorming the state on his No Malarkey bus, still answering questions over this fiery exchange.
You're selling access to the president just like he was. So
You're a damn liar, man. That's not true.
That voter attacking Biden about his age and his son Hunter. The former vice president now expressing just one regret.
I probably shouldn't have challenged the push-ups.
Now back to Mayor Pete Buttigieg for a moment. He's addressing a growing chorus of questions about his work overseas with a prestigious marketing firm called McKinsey & Company. Now we know very little about his time there, but Buttigieg says that he's now urging McKinsey to release him from a non-disclosure agreement along with a full list of his clients. So far the company not releasing that information, but Buttigieg says he's still pushing and that this is all in the interest of transparency.
Great reporting there, and I've seen some reporting indicating that progressives are about to launch a pretty big attack on Buttigieg because they are worried about him from the left flank of the party.
There is a big divide within the party right now.
Yep.
Well, moving on now, Rob is on the road with ESPN's Game Day crew all season, and now things are really heating up. You're down in Atlanta this morning. Good morning, Rob.
Hey, good morning, Eva. It is Conference Championship Saturday, and here in Atlanta, it is the SEC where the Georgia Bulldogs will take on the undefeated LSU Tigers. The last time these guys met for the championship was 2011 when the Tigers came out on top. They have met 4 times, so this is a good SEC rivalry and more or less a must-win for the Georgia Bulldogs. Technically, this is a neutral field, but it is in Atlanta, just about 90 minutes from Athens, so I expect to see a little bit more in the way of Bulldog fans here later on today. Where they played the Pac-12 last night was in San Francisco. Let's go there, where a big-time storm is rolling in. We've already had a couple of inches of rain across northern California. We'll see a couple of more inches. Flash flood watches have been posted because of the burn scar areas there. We've got winter storm warnings as well. We're going to see a lot of snow with this, over 4 feet, right down to the mountain pass levels, and 40 to 50 mile per hour winds as this thing treks over the mountains and into the plains. This will go coast to coast. It'll be a really wet storm come Monday morning, and behind this, big time cold. We'll talk more about that in a sec. But for now, it's time for a look at your local forecast.
Well, hello and good morning, Washington. Plenty of sunshine to start the weekend, but also some cool temperatures, only reaching the lower 40s, even by the afternoon hours. Now, we have a great event going down at Iwo Jima today, Toys for Tots Drive. A lot of us will be out there this afternoon and this morning, so be sure to come and join us. If you do, make sure to dress warm. Temperatures only in the lower 40s. Now, tomorrow, heading out maybe to get the tree, still dry across the region. Morning sunshine, some afternoon clouds, high temperatures into the upper 40s. Enjoy your weekend.
Oregon Ducks taking down Utah last night in the Pac-12. We got the Big 12, we got the AAC, we got the ACC, and this game all played at neutral fields later on this afternoon.